Good morning. Sitting here today at the office, trying to get caught up on a lot of paperwork today, and just thanking God for another day. Thanking God for a new president. Thank God for all the African Americans who got out and voted during this election. And I want to thank myself for getting out and voting this election. As a matter of fact, it was my first time ever voting in my life. I don't have my voting rights back now for about at least 7 years, and I also have a full pardon that came along with my voting rights. But I never utilized them because I didn't really understand the importance of getting out there voting. And never been up big on politics a lot because I never spent a lot of time going back and forth with anyone concerning politics, because most times you get into politics, you have to go back and forth. You have to, sometimes it end up in a heated argument because, being in an argument with someone doing in politics, man, and you don't really know what you're talking about, and they have some kind of knowledge of politics, or, a little bit more education in it than you do, you'll find yourself probably getting frustrated. So I try to stay on out of that, and I try to take the education as it comes. And I listen to people as they talk about politics. And during this time, I was listening to them back and forth by both presidents. I got to witness Trump saying a lot of things that didn't line up with his position of authority over the country. And I kind of made my better judge myself with Trump. I seen that Trump he wasn't a good leader. He wasn't the type of gentleman that you'll depend on to be on the front line and the head of the country. One of the things and the accusations and stuff, he said out his mouth a lot. But I watched Biden also when he ran along with President Obama. And I think he'll be a good fit. You can never say, everybody got their line and everybody got their tune that they sing when they're going into elections. But through it all, I thank God I was able to get out this year and cast a vote, and I feel good about that, It made me feel good. I got up early in the morning and prepared myself to go to the poll. And matter of fact, I was about the 13th one in line at my designated area. And it was a good feeling, to say, hey, man, you're going to vote today. So I'm gonna make that a part of my life from now on. I'm gonna start getting out and voting and let my vote be cast, and feel good about it because, hey, man, you went out and voted, and that's strong to me. But anyway, I've been making these videos. I started on this the third one I had on the category that I was dealing with. I was dealing with the kids and what kids go through. The household, house parents and stuff go about kids and things. So I hold myself accountable for a lot of things that don't happen in my life, for my kids and their upbringing and when I missed out on them and when I tried my best to do what I could. I feel that I could have did a little better coming through, but a lot of things I just didn't know. I grew up practically in a single parent household. My mom, she wore the dress and the pants, so she did what she could as a lady to raise me and my offspring, and I consider she did a good job, from under the circumstances that she was in. And the rest of it I got from role models in the streets, and I learned a lot from them guys I met down the road in the state penitentiary, and I got a lot of at the federal penitentiary when I was in there with guys, with knowledge of a lot of things, and they shared a lot of knowledge with me and a lot of insight to life. I found myself growing a lot through communicating with different guys from all sects of the world. And I got that knowledge, and I took it and I dissected a lot of it, and some of it I didn't, but a lot of it I took in, and I really appreciated God for putting me in the place of a lot of individuals that I came across during my incarceration through the years. It really helped me out. It really helped make a man out of me. They started showing me some things that you can do in society and stuff to change your character and get out of the norm, In other words, get out the box, So I reflect back when I was a kid and when I first went to the Department of Youth Service in Mount Meigs. I went down there on a robbery beef, stole here on Fairview. They were selling a lot of stuff, so I stole like some Family Dollar. I went in and I was stealing, but I ended up getting caught and I turned it into a robbery because I went to trying to fight the store owner and ended up assaulting him, and he assaulted me. And they sent me back to our base out there, and the judge, he was about tired of seeing me, and he told he's going to send me on the Department of Youth Service. So when I went to the Department of Youth Service, I was kind of hype kid. Never would be still, always was into something. I played ball. I got in little fights and stuff in the units, and I never was humble. I couldn't humble myself to anything, especially authority. And as I went on down from D&E, that's the center where they evaluate you at, and they sent me on down to Mount Meigs because I was getting ready to turn 16. And they sent me down to Mount Meigs down there, and I got down there. I was the same way. I was a good kid, I did most of the things that the unit supervisors told me to do, but sometimes I still got into things. But I went to school, I played on the basketball team. I played football and played a little softball. And as I come back up from my evaluation, the counselors notified my mama, and told my mom that she should consider taking me to get tested for my mental, because I was uncontrollable, and they were wondering, said this kid here might have some problems, So when they notified my mom and asked her about it, my mom told them, hey, ain't nothing wrong with Anthony. He's just a hype kid, and he like to get around. He like to do things. He like to stay busy. No, I'm not going to sign no documents for nobody to do no kind of mental evaluation on him because ain't nothing wrong with him. She could have easily told them to hold the documents till she got down there that weekend and see me. She would have signed off on it, and they could have took me over there and had a mental evaluation of me and possibly put me on a check where I'd be getting a check and stuff every month for my mental. Something wouldn't have been, otherwise I was classed up to almost be like you're crazy or something like that, That's what it boiled down to, but she bagged out of that. She said, no, ain't nothing wrong with Anthony. Anthony's a smart kid. He just got issues with humbling himself to authority, but he real smart, That my mom told him. She said, I'm not finna sign no documents to put him on no kind of mental care or anything in that nature. So as time went on, I look back over the years, and I look back over kids' life now, and a lot of kids didn't get that type backup from their mom or their dad when people approached them. Some mom and dad took their kids over there to the Social Security place, or took them over there down at the mental health and got them in bad way, and told them to play crazy. Told them to play crazy, for to get another check in income coming into the household, you know. So they take them down there and tell them they came put blocks and stuff together, you know, tell them they don't even know how to say their name, you know, show them how to jump all on walls and all that kind of stuff when they go down in the front of the psychologist, because they're trying to get that check for them, see, so they can have that income coming into the household every month. You know, not knowing that you're gonna battle the child and later on down the road, you know, the child mental is gonna play effect on him or her, because you don't let the people classify them as being mental disabled to a certain extent. But so when they start going to school and stuff, so they don't get to go in the classroom with the regular kids. They get to go in the classroom with kids who just like them, you know, and then they stay in them classrooms. You know, them classrooms not being taught the same thing that they being taught in the upper classroom upstairs on the second floor, the third floor. You always go straight to the basement with your peers when you come out the school bus, and you be there all day. The only time you get to see your peers probably when you go to the cafeteria and eat lunch. All right, this go on through the years, all the way through the years. You go from elementary, you go up to junior high, and by the time you get to junior high, you go to noticing that the kids start laughing at you. They go to saying, you know, you got to go over there in that class, or you ride the short bus, or, you know, you're ALD, you know, a learning disability, or you know, that guy, that little boy there, he crazy. He got to go in that class or whatever. So you be wondering, how did you get there? And you start asking questions sometimes when you get home, because you're getting frustrated. See, that stuff make you start fighting, lashing out, and start talking to kids, talking crazy to the teachers, and you know, you won't be still. You got to, you know, you got to be always in a battle with everybody, because you're getting tired of people mocking you about you being crazy or you got a learning disability. And see, it don't be your fault. See, it be something that your parents did to you early on for to get an income to come into the household. See, they weren't thinking about down the line where you had to go to school, you had to be around your peers, you had to comprehend certain things in life. So you don't been down there to that place, that mental health place, so many times and playing like you crazy, till you actually been on went crazy. You know, but actually you're a good kid. You know, you don't get a chance to exercise your education, your mind, and you know, you might be the next president, the vice president, you know, the next doctor, the teacher, next teacher, educator. You know, you might be the next instructor over there at Alabama State, out there at Auburn. You know, all that been demolished once you start accepting them sessions and going through all that old medication that they put you on, and trying to declare you crazy, but you actually not crazy. It just be something that the parents took you through for them to get more money into the household. They don't be thinking about you later on 8-10 years down the road when you go to school, when you're trying to get your education, and how they don't made you missed out. You know, your Social Security number, you know, they use that. You know, they use that for credit and all that. You don't have none of that kind of stuff when you grow up. You know, your credit already be bad before you even started. Because your parents done took everything away from you early on, you see. Because they don't made way for themselves. You know, you might see a pair of tennis shoes out of it or an outfit every now and then, but for the most part, they might pay bill with it and they dress themselves. You know, you see the parents dress better than the children, you know. Vice versa, you know, my mom used to dress us first, you know, and she dressed last. You know, she got the scraps, she gives us the best. You know, but this day and time, you know, you got the parents, they putting the kids out there early on. You know, they're allowing these people to evaluate them and say something wrong with their mind and shortening them their life later on, you know. And they can't function in life because you don't start something that they got to carry on and play this role for the rest of their life. You know, you don't shorten them for being who they really can be. You know, and later on, you get mad at them when they go to asking you questions, why did you do them this way? And you tell them to get out your face, get out my face, you MF such and such, you know, I had to help raise you and such. You didn't think about what kind of damage you actually were doing to your own child. All you were thinking about was the income. How much more money you can get to pump into the household through your own child education. See, if my mom would have signed them documents early on when I was down at the Department of Youth Service, guess what? She would have been getting a check for me, but I would have been lacking all the way through my life. And see, when I got to lacking, other things go to happen, you see, so I got the shortcut to make a living. You know how to start doing things that a kid wouldn't normally do. You know, I got to go in Mr. Joe's stove still. I got to go over here and take. You know, I got to go here and take. You know, I got to do things outside the box because you are shortening me of getting a proper education. By the time I get to high school and supposed to be graduating, I'm not graduating. My graduation, my certificate ain't accounting for anything because you done shorted me on my education, see, and I got to find a way now to survive the rest of my life. You know, now I got to depend on my wife, I got to depend on my offspring to take me through. You know, because some of us, you know, we done got to the point in life, man, where we done missed out on it, you know, because we're going, some of us went in and out of prison and stuff, man, because that's all we know how to do. That's the only thing we can do, man. Because we've been missed out at the expense of our dads and moms sometimes. The moms, man, they took you all the way down through there, man, and short you your whole life. Because they were trying to get an income into the household. Everybody was short-stepping. Everybody trying to find them ways. If it took taking from the kid at an early age before they start, that would happen. And a lot of us going through it today, you know, that's why we make some of the decisions that we make. That's why we go through some of the things we go through, because mentally, we're not able to make them kind of decisions, you see. See, the right decision be right there in our favor, but you can't make them because you don't understand. But it's still not too late to get no understanding. We can still get an understanding, but we're gonna be a little rougher on them, but we still can get an understanding, but you got to step out the box on your own now and try to learn it for yourself. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get it out here in society because the world is moving too fast. The only time you can get it mostly when you're incarcerated, because you got time, free time to do it. You know, out here in the world, you're trying to fend and learn, but it's hard for you to learn. So there were a lot of the violence and stuff coming about in the world today. You know, kids are acting out their anger and stuff with a gun because they mental won't allow them to make the kind of decisions they need to make to dissolve the matter. You know, you can be talking to someone sometime and then you be making the best of the conversation and they blow on you. See, they blow on you because they can't go no further. Reason they can't go no further because they never learned how to go any further. Because the teacher sat them in the corner, sat them in one room, 6, 7 of them, 8, 10 of them in one room all day. And they just were there. All the time they went there, came out, was go eat lunch, and gave them something easy on paper to fill a deal around with to the bedroom. They were glad to get rid of them. Wasn't no learning going on. All they did was just push you on through school. And see, you weren't ready when time came about for graduation because you haven't learned anything. But don't feel bad about it. It wasn't your fault. So you got to look back at your history and see where you came from and see what happened to you along the way. Because a lot of folks show a lot of children these days. That's what's going on now. You know, a lot of kids just got short by their education. You couldn't learn no further. So when you can learn in the further, man, to go no further in life, guess what? Ain't nothing left for you but something you think you know how to do. And I got to give it to you, man. You meet some of the best people in the world who folk call crazy, call LD. Them some of the best folks in the world, you know. They humble. Some of them be so humble to you because they don't know. They actually been hiding all their life. You know, they grown, but they been hiding all their life. Been hiding from a lot of things all their life. See, they can't face up to a lot of things that you might want them to face up to because they don't know. It ain't about for us to make no fun of them or call them crazy, slow, or LDs and none of that. It ain't about that. It's about trying to find a way to help them too. Especially when you're in the black community. Because the black community is full of people who parents have shown them all their life just for to get another income to come into the household. They're lacking of a lot of things because they weren't able to get it, you see. And then still, what I just said a few minutes ago, it ain't their fault. It's our fault for doing them the way that we did them just to get our almighty dollar. See, kids can't function like these days with their mental because it's not there for them to make the kind of decisions that they need to make. They can't make them kind of decisions. You know, you get people now, you tell them to go do this and do that. You know, people, some folk don't know how to do all that stuff, but folk directed them to go do. They'll get somebody else to go do it for them because they might be ashamed if they can't read or write. It's a blessing to be able to read and write. But some people can't read and write. It ain't nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that you got to get in and get somebody to help you out with. A lot of things I don't spell good or pronounce good or none of that. I got a wife to help me. You know, she tell me a lot of. She spell a lot of words for me. She pronounce them for me good. You know, because my pronunciation, I might tear a word up sometime when I get ready to pronounce it. But she'll break it down for me. She'll spell it out. You know, I'll holler, hey, baby, spell such and such for me. She'll spell it for me. Then I get the meaning of it, and then I can use the word. I don't try to go all out and use an extensive vocabulary because I know I can't. I don't worry about trying to do that. I just get my point across. I learned through incarceration how to do different things. I learned how to use a computer. I learned how to type. You know, I learned how to get out my comfort zone during my incarceration time. I didn't learn this on the street. See, when I went to prison the last time, that's why I got my GED. That's why I learned how to type. That's why I learned how to use computers. That's why I got my associate degree. I didn't have all that in society. That's why I had to go to the drug game, you see. See, the drug game was my only way out for his income because I didn't know other way to get it. You know, I wanted so badly to be able to go up in a job and work and make a living from it. I know I couldn't. How could I go up in a job and make 6-7 figure salary a year? How can I do it? I didn't have nothing to go up in there with. I didn't have nothing to offer. I didn't have nothing to put on the table. I didn't have no new idea for the company, for to progress with them. So I had to go get a piece of this and a piece of that before they try to get by. All the while I was living in the darkness, you know, because you be so scared, man, to the point that you be saying, how I'm going to be able to come out that box and survive one day and do something worthwhile and raise a family, raise my kids. You know, try to give them the knowledge and the understanding that they really need, the nourishment for the education, for them to progress in life, for them to go on and do something with their life. How am I going to be able to do that? God made way for me to go back into incarceration the last time. See, because he knew what I was hungry for. See, I was hungry for something different than the drug game. Drug gang, that was the easy gang. You can get anybody some drugs and put it in their hand, then go out and sell it to somebody. They might sell it to the police. They might sell it to somebody else, but if you know anybody can do that. I needed something else. I needed me a challenge. I needed a way to make a living where I can get out and be proud of what I'm doing and be a legitimate living. I want to be a way to bring in an income that I ain't had to keep looking on my back for. So God put me back in the prison system one more time and gave me something that I need to bring back to society, see? And society didn't know I had that when I came back. See, I had accomplished something that last run I did in the prison system that the guys and the women I partied with, see, they didn't know I had. I had to put it back to work when I came out here, but it took time. It took time for me to show up. See, because I didn't have the cash flow that I had before I left. So I had to grind, you see. I had to take 100 here, 300 here. I had to take 400 and make it out of 600. I had to make 800 out of 1,000. See, I had to slow roll it. I had to sell clothes all out the back of my car, out the back of my truck. You know, I had to slow roll it, you see. But God gave me a lawn service to make out of business. I understand that people look at, oh, ain't up with old lawn service, doing my cutting grass. Yeah, but you can make that out of business, see. You can sell drink bars and make it out of business. It's just all depending how you apply yourself. I might not be a lawyer, I might not be a doctor, but at the same time, I take what I do now and be proud of it. Because you know why? I learned how to operate and handle it like a business. See, beforehand, I couldn't do that, see. See, along the way, you get short, not just from your folk getting a check from you, but you still getting short because you're not applying yourself to no kind of education. When you ain't applying yourself to no kind of education, you're going to still what? You still going to fall short. But I went on and got into something, though. And I changed the way I was thinking. And God blessed me with another avenue to go another way once I came back. And I thank God the day that my mom didn't make that decision to sign them documentation. So I would have been down there, they put me on that medication and pushing me on through school and folk treat me in a way that they thought they supposed to treat me because they thought I was kind of slow, crazy. See, but God seen something else in me. See, when God sees something else in you, man, ain't nobody going to be able to stop it. You know, they'll be able to criticize and ostracize and talk about you everywhere, you know, and call you all kind of things and try to hold you to that same old drug dealer you used to be, but you ain't got to worry about it no more. Long as God see you for who you are now, that's all that matters. You ain't got to get tied up in all the hoopla trying to prove yourself to nobody because it don't matter. It don't matter what folks say about you. It don't matter how they class you to be the same old dirtbag you used to be. Same old crazy jokers in school they used to be around and stuff. See, it don't matter. You cry to God, see, he'll help you out. He'll bring you up, script you down, he'll bring you back up, see. He'll take you and make you out the individual and the human being that you were cut out to be from the start, who he created. People be don't interfere, you see, and try to make you out what they want you to be. Some of them just don't care nothing about you. If it take them to get money out you while you're a kid, that's what they'll do. Whatever you go through later on down in life, That's your problem. That's the way folks will see it. Don't have no ill feeling against them, though. Just keep praying for them. And at the end of the day, just say, God, I sure do thank you. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.